Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your good pal and friend Ed, and I'm back in my tent. I didn't sleep in the tent last night because I saved enough money to get a room for the night at a hotel. Tonight I'm sleeping in my tent. It's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm rather tired, but I just wanted to make another video before I hit the hay and get some shut-eye. I don't know how many hours I'm gonna get sleep tonight because there's rain expected in the forecast in the morning, like around 5 o'clock in the morning. The forecast says that only 10% of the area is gonna get rain. Well, it'll be just my luck and it'll be my 10%. It'll be my area that gets 10% of rain. Again, I have to say, I'm in a tent not because I'm a drinker, a smoker, a user, abuser, and I don't have any issues. I'm in my tent because I lost my job over a month ago. They laid me off, and I was able to start working somewhere else, detailing vehicles at a dealership. Now, I don't actually work for the dealership. I work at a dealership for another company that has a contract. And right now it's slow time. I'm just getting started so that when it gets busier, I can just go right in and don't have to stop when someone notices a mistake. Okay, now is the time for me to make mistakes, I guess. I don't have any friends or family helping me. I do have family, but I don't really have any friends. There isn't anybody's house I can just go to and crash on their couch or sleep in the spare room. I've exhausted pretty much all help. I am trying to navigate the social service system, but I have food stamps, which is a big help. I have health care. I'm waiting on that. That's also a big help. But the largest hurdle is housing, and that's income based. And there are, where I live in Camden County, New Jersey. New Jersey is probably the worst state to be homeless also. But there are only 4 shelters. They're in Camden. 3 of the 4 shelters you have to be a Camden resident. It says so. I can pull it up for you and I'll show it for you in another video. There's 211, but 211 only gives you numbers to advocacy groups. But some of them say that they don't help the homeless and aren't quite sure why 211 gave me their phone number. There's Volunteers of America, but they actually tell you there's no guarantee that they can help you. That's frustrating. Housing department down at Social Services, which is in my town. I don't have to go to Camden. I could just hop on the train. I don't even have to hop on the train. I could just walk over there. It's kind of a hike, but you know, I'm already walking around for miles and miles anyway. You know what? It just sucks. My situation really sucks. I'm stuck in a moment and I can't get out of it. And I really do wish that things worked out for me better with past relationships. So if there's anybody that is watching that knows me, recognize me, maybe we used to date, maybe we used to hang out, maybe we used to chill in your garage till 3 or 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe even till the sun came up, listening to music, you telling me stories, your thoughts, your ideas. You know, they say you can't look back, you can never look back. But there are just some people that I've met that I wish we didn't part ways. And I never initiated the parting. I've always been let go, or whatever. You know, if you know me personally and you're watching this, you know, this is what I'm doing. But at least you know I'm okay, right? It's not like you could find me on Facebook and send me a message, say, "Hey Ed, how you doing?" You know, there's just no help for someone like me. I'm truly on my own. In a way, I'm free. You know, Ed, you're free. You're not tied down. You're not tied down to a job. You don't have kids. You don't have a wife. You don't have a mortgage. You don't have a car payment. I don't even have a real job. You know, I have a little-time job. It's not even a part-time job. It can lead to full-time, but right now it's little-time because I work a little bit of the time. You know, I'm lucky to have food stamps. If I didn't have food stamps, I'd be way skinnier than I am now. I used to be, at the beginning of the year, close to a size 40 waist. I am now under 36. I'm wearing a size 36 jeans, and I have to get a belt for them because they're falling down on me. So I need to get a belt, so my pants aren't falling down, so my underwear isn't showing. There's nothing more embarrassing than walking around and keep having to pull up your pants, especially when you're like out in public, because everyone's like, "What's with this guy? Why can't he get a belt?" I just can't buy one. I don't have $12 for a belt. I don't even have $12. Not right now. Tomorrow I'll have more than $12, but I have to spend it on a hotel room probably. If I don't have enough money for a hotel room tomorrow, I don't know. I'll be back in my tent. At least it's not supposed to rain tomorrow night. If I have to spend the next few nights in my tent until I have enough money from my next paycheck to get a roof or rent, so be it. And it might align in time for when I get more food stamps. So I'll be able to go to the supermarket and get something to eat. And I'll probably make a video from my hotel room. Making these videos, I did a lot of pondering. And, you know, I didn't want to make these videos, but someone told me that me making videos is unrealistic and not a priority. And the second somebody tells me that I can't do something, I'm going to go and do it anyway, just to prove them wrong. And that's another reason why I'm making these videos, is to prove to everyone that I can make the impossible possible. You know, I'm doing it. When someone tells me that I can't do it, I go and I do it. Prove to myself that I'm doing it and I can do it, and I am enough to be able to do so. I have the smarts, I have the intelligence. I'm certainly not stupid or dumb, but I play dumb sometimes because sometimes it's easier just to play dumb and stupid. You know, sometimes it's not worth the headache. Now, I'm scratching my thumb because I just got bit So, like, there are holes in the screens here. There's a hole here, big hole here, big hole. There's a little archipelago of holes right here. If you don't know archipelago, look at Hawaii, look, Indonesia. Those are archipelagos. A series of islands. So I'm getting pretty tired. I don't know how much longer I can make this video for. I'll hang in there for a little while longer. Let me tell you a story about my cousin Steven. Steven is no longer with us. He tragically passed away in March of 2022. Steven is 28 years old. You would never know he suffered from depression and anxiety. He was always smiles, always had a joke. He was talented too. He played the drums. Him and his friends actually even had their own club. It was called Club Germ, and it was in the basement of his house. And if you know Club Germ, you know. And if you knew Steven, you know. He was talented. But sadly, he was in a relationship with a girl that wasn't right for him. And I don't know, maybe one night they were partying or something, and she'd said something to him, and he didn't like what she said. It got him very depressed, and he passed away that night. I can't say how, because YouTube will probably flag me. But if you knew Steven, you knew his talents, you knew him, you know his story. And I was there when he got his first drum set at Christmas. It was 1998? 1998 or 99. I remember he got his first drum set. He was so excited. I miss him. His brother Vincent, my cousin, and him and I, we look like brothers because my mom and their mom were sisters. So they're my cousins. We look alike. My cousin Vince, he's taller than me, and he's bald, and he's got a big beard. But we don't talk. He's kind of a loner. I don't know any of his friends. I've never met his girlfriend. I haven't seen him since my sister passed, and that was at a funeral home in Maple Shade last year. It's funny, I always end up going back to Maple Shade for some reason, because that's where my families have had their services. My sister that passed away had her services there. My cousin who passed away had his services there. My nan who passed away, they had their services there. I'll probably have to go back there again for another service, but I hope not for a while. I had some friends in Maple Shade, but they're not my friends anymore. Rightly justifiably. If they're watching, I'm sorry. I'm not going to put your business out there because I'm not doing that on YouTube. But if they know who they are, And if they're watching, I'm sorry. And I wish things could have been different. One, if you're watching and you know me and you want to reconnect with me, you know how to find me. Yeah, I'm making these videos to ask for help, but I'm not posting my GoFundMe link on here anymore. I've already posted it in my first 3 videos in the description. I really don't know how to get anyone else to share it, to help, for a little extra assistance. I'm just gonna have to rely on my job. I recently reached out to my only cousin on my dad's side. She blocked me. At least she knows I'm still breathing. If my sister's watching, this is what I'm doing. You probably knew that. And I hope you're doing okay. You're probably doing okay. It'd be nice to hear from you, but you're not gonna reach out to me. I can reach out to you, but you're not gonna reply back to me. It just sucks. Navigating social services is a headache. Getting up and doing the daily grind is stressful. And each passing day gives me more anxiety. I don't have any issues. I don't have any diagnoses. I've seen therapists and psychiatrists, and they just tell me to get a hobby. And I have hobbies, but I'm too broke right now to have hobbies. One of my hobbies is gardening. I've gotten into wanting to grow my own food and plants and trees. Not those kind of plants. Okay? So, I've experimented with that in the past, but I've been experiencing housing problems since 2017. Prior to 2017, I never had an issue with housing. I had long-term housing. I've had my own apartments. I've had cars. I've had money. This is the lowest point I've ever been. So, I'm gonna keep the comments off till I find a moderator. And this is what I'm doing right now. And for those of you who are watching that told me that I need to submit myself and surrender to this state and get myself into a hospital and checked into a group home, that's unrealistic. That's not going to happen. Because I'm a fighter. I'm not going to stay down. I'll take my lumps. But I'm going to keep getting back up. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm not going to let anybody tell me what I'm doing is unrealistic. I'm not going to let anybody who doesn't want to be positive influence in my life and help try to lift me instead of keep me down. I'm over it. what was that, a stink bug? I think that was a stink bug. So I'm glad that it's a cooler evening. It's like 65 degrees, which is great. It had been in the 90s and even 100. This is regular fruit punch. There's nothing in it. I'm not gonna show where I got it, but if you watch my videos and you're paying attention, you might be able to find me. It's not like I want to be found, but I am trying to find help to get out of this tent. You know, and how can anyone help me if I have the comments turned off? Well, there's a good reason for that. Because I don't want anyone that I know who might be watching to say something negative. Alright? And I don't have a moderator to go through all the comments and delete all the negative feedback. I don't need any negativity in my life anymore. I don't want it. I just want good things. Good things, positive things, uplifting things. I want joy, I want peace. I want to have fun again. I want to go back to being good old Ed. And I'm doing what I can to change for myself, so I can live more peacefully and have a better way for myself. It's difficult for me making these videos. You know, I walk around all day. I walk my butterfly route. That's what I call it, because if you were to draw it on the map, it'd be like a section here that's like a wing, and like a section over here that's like a wing, and you got like the head that's like straight line, the body, and you got the antenna, and I don't know, butterflies have a tail. I don't think so, but you know, that's kind of the area that I cover. A little here and a little here, and then like a straight line, and then here and then here, you know. That's pretty much the area I cover. You know, I'm wearing the same thing. I only have one other change of clothes. My only other shirt is maroon, and my only other pants are navy blue with a light blue stripe on each side. And I have black sneakers. So, if I'm not wearing this, I'm wearing that. And, you know, if you've been watching my videos, you know where I hang out when I'm not at work. I'm not gonna make videos or stream from my job. You know, because I'm there to work, to do a job, and I'm not going to bring this baloney to work. That's the last thing I need to do, is bring my saga, my tragic story, my pathetic, tragic story to work. Okay? Because that's not why I'm there. I'm not on YouTube making videos to make friends. If I make friends because of it, or if old friends want to come back into my life because of it, and they're watching me and they see I'm struggling, that's fine. No problem there. We can try to find an avenue to reconnect if you want that. I'd also have to want it too, but let's be real. You're probably not. You might be watching, but you're probably not gonna come back. This is probably as far as you'll want to keep me, or as close as you'll want to keep me. Because maybe, just maybe, if you invite me back, it might all go wrong again. And I don't want that. What's going on here? So, when I left my tent, not yesterday, but 2 days ago, I ran into the mom of one of my sister's ex-boyfriends, who lives near where I'm staying in my tent. It was nice to see her again, because I haven't seen her in a few years. She's a nice woman, very nice woman, and we chatted, and I let her know my situation. I gave her my new phone number. She said she might talk to some people to find out maybe if there's a couch I can sleep on or something, But I don't really have anybody else. And I'm not afraid to admit that some of it might be my fault. I'm not going to say why, because I'm not really trying to put all my business out there. What I'm doing is real, though. This is real. I am sleeping in a tent tonight, and I have been sleeping in a tent, and I have had a housing issue since July of last year. I did have a small stint in Camden, November, December, January, and I had to move out February shortly after the big game. And after they had, I think I had to move out the day of or the day after the celebration in Philadelphia. I don't own anything. I mean, someone bought me this tent. I'm not on speaking terms with them right now. It might be my fault. I mean, I have possessions, but they're not anything of value. I mean, I have irreplaceable things. Birthday cards from relatives that have passed. Pictures that can't be copied. I have some collectibles that I'm probably going to have to sell. And that's fine, because I can always repurchase them at a later time. But right now I have to worry about getting out of this tent and into something a little more stable. I'm certainly not going to submit and surrender myself to the state for help. I'm certainly not going to go to a hospital and lie to them and tell them I'm a danger to myself and other people just to have a place to stay in a hospital. I'm not going to quit my job. No matter how much my life sucks right now, I'm still pressing on. I'm still going. I'm still moving. I'm still determined. This isn't going to beat me, and my current situation doesn't define me. This situation doesn't define me. I'm not going to let it dictate or take control of me. I could if I wanted to, but I don't. Because I'm strong. I'm strong-willed. Now, YouTube tells me how many views I get for my videos. It isn't much right now. If I gain popularity from these videos, and if I gain enough viewerships to where YouTube can pay me, that would be awesome. Certainly not my intention. My main motivation to making these videos was the fact that some people tell me that I'm being unrealistic and that I can't do it. Well, here I am, I'm doing it. Here I am, showing up in your algorithm, on your YouTube feed. I haven't quite figured out how to make a short yet, or a reel. I just created a TikTok channel, but I don't have any content on there yet. It'll probably just be the same videos. And I know I can reach different people and maybe more people on TikTok also. And I do have to start each video saying that I'm not a user, abuser, drinker, smoker, or have any issues. Okay? I need you to know that. And that is the truth. You know, I don't do any of that stuff. I don't have any of those problems. So it's getting kind of late. It's probably almost midnight. And I'm getting kind of sleepy. And so I'm going to end this video shortly. I just have a few more things to talk about, and I'm just going to call it a night. You know, nobody sees your struggles, and nobody sees your pain. Nobody sees the tears that you have. All anyone sees and wants to focus on are your mistakes. No one really wants to be with you, me. No one really wants me also, because I don't check off their box. You know what they can do with that box? They can shove it with no lube. Someone told me to watch out for the deer. Okay. Deer aren't going to do anything. What are the deer going to do? They can't get in here. I used to have this tent in another location, actually in the woods, but I almost got skunked a couple times. So that was that. Plus, that's where a lot of other homeless people like to pitch their tents, and it's true what they say about some homeless people is that some of them do have issues. Some of them do have problems drinking or using and abusing. My circumstances are different. I'm just down on my luck because I lost my job. I was laid off. And it was a union job too. They couldn't get me my job back. They said they had just cause to lay me off. I wasn't fired, I was laid off. I can't collect unemployment because I collected unemployment last year for the entirety. And in order to re-qualify for unemployment in New Jersey, you have to work at least 18 months consecutively. So last year when I collected unemployment, I actually was laid off, but when I applied for unemployment, my employer lied and said that I quit. That caused them to give me a 6-week penalty. I had to wait 6 weeks before I could get any money. And once I started collecting unemployment, I just got lazy. My sister passed away, and I just stopped caring. I was, again, it was in Mapleshade. I was living in Mapleshade. I'm gonna see if I can't I'm gonna see if I can like play music while I'm making these videos, because I can't just sit here in silence. I mean, I can. It's no big deal. But I want to share music with you to express my current state of emotions at the time, rather than just word vomit a bunch of crazy jibber jabber gobbledygook. You know, I could play a song and hope that YouTube doesn't flag me. I would have to probably say that this music isn't mine and it's somebody else's, and I don't own the rights to it, and I'm playing it for fair use only. I probably would have to say that every time. You know, I probably would have to say that every time. I'll probably just write it down on a piece of paper and I'll flash it before starting to speak. That way, get the disclaimer out of the way, get the truth out of the way. Don't know what the fuck that is. I hope to get some new shoes this weekend, because it's totally busted. But I have a big foot. Hard for me to shop. Depending on the type of shoe I wear, if it's like a boot, it's gotta be 15. And it's gotta be wide. It can't be narrow. It's gotta be wide. Sneakers, dress shoes are a little bit more fitting. Dress shoes like a 13 or 14 wide. I don't have to get wide all the time, but I usually look for wide shoes just so I can have it, because not all shoes are made the same. Like I've worn 13, I've worn regular size 13 shoes and they be very small on me, and I've worn size 14, a size 15 boot, and it barely fit because it's kind of narrow, one portion. So I think it's starting to drizzle again. Great, just my luck. I don't have a cover for this. I just took off my shoes. The grass is wet. I'm probably just gonna have to deal with it. So I'm just gonna say goodnight, and I'll have another video for you tomorrow before work, and I'll have another one for you after work tomorrow. Excuse me. So it's time to say goodnight. So until the next episode, I'll check you later.